We love the idea of getting rich overnight, winning the lottery, launching a successful startup, or landing that one massive windfall. Since cash rarely falls from the sky, most of us take the traditional path. We spend years grinding for promotions, chasing bigger titles, and working toward a higher salary. There's a hidden flaw built into that strategy. Psychology dictates that the moment our income goes up, our spending naturally rises to meet it. In this comparison, as your income bar rises, expenses instantly rise to match it. Your net margin stays at zero. Over a decade of salary bumps, every raise is absorbed by new conveniences, revealing a completely flatlined net worth curve. If higher income consistently triggers higher expenses, relying on a bigger paycheck to escape the rat race is mathematically broken. People who successfully exit that endless cycle don't obsess over their total net worth. They track a completely different metric. Relying on a high net worth is vulnerable. A static pile of money sits there, entirely dependent on your active income to protect it. If you lose your job or hit an emergency, that pile starts rapidly draining. The alternative is cash flow. Instead of a pile, it's an active stream of money that automatically replenishes itself month after month. Consider a strategy used by someone like Jordan. Jordan ignores the corporate rat race entirely and focuses on generating tiny, automated cash streams, maybe just $100 a month from a small side hustle or an investment. Most people dismiss a $100 reward as too small to matter. Our brains are hardwired to crave massive, immediate results, causing us to ignore these minor opportunities entirely. But true wealth relies on the silent mechanics of compounding, where initial, tiny actions gradually gather unstoppable momentum. This flowchart shows how Jordan's strategy works in practice. We start with a single, small node, generating $100 a month. Over time, that node duplicates and branches out, creating a cascading network that funnels into increasingly larger streams of $500 and eventually $1,000. At a certain critical mass, these individual streams begin to automatically fund entirely new streams. Financial freedom operates as a cold mathematical equation, distinct from the popular imagery of private jets and luxury. Looking at this graph, the red line is your baseline living expenses, say $2,000 a month. The blue curve is your passive cash flow. The exact threshold for freedom is the moment that blue curve permanently crosses above the red line. Crossing that threshold means you are no longer forced to trade your time to a traditional employer just to survive. Reaching that crossover point requires an initial trade. You have to sacrifice temporary active effort or capital today to build a permanent asset for tomorrow. One method is dividend investing. You purchase fractional ownership in profitable companies, and in return, you earn a percentage of their ongoing revenue without having to actually run the business. Another route is digital products. You build a digital asset, like a template or a specialized software tool, just once, and you possess the ability to sell it an infinite amount of times with zero replication cost. A third approach is micro-rentals. This involves monetizing idle physical assets you already own or automating small local services to generate recurring income. Despite their differences, these three methods share the exact same structural architecture. They completely disconnect the act of generating income from the continuous exhaustion of your daily labor. The challenge is resisting the trap of instant gratification. You cannot underestimate the value of that first dividend check or that first digital sale, no matter how tiny it seems. Escaping the cycle of constant work is rarely a single dramatic leap. It is the quiet accumulation of hundreds of boring, unglamorous decisions. Over time, those tiny, consistent actions eventually merge together, reaching critical mass and rushing forward with overwhelming momentum. Continuous cash flow buys back your time, the truest and most finite form of wealth. Amassing currency or achieving luxury becomes secondary to that control over your own life.